Alright, so if you want to set your RSNav up the same as I have it with the UI, here's essentially what you do. So the first thing you want to do is you want to download Car Launcher Pro. So if you've got your RSNav UI, go to Apps, go to Play Store, and then download Car Launcher Pro. It is a paid app, so you do have to pay for it. Once you do that, you download it, you open it. Car Launcher Pro has a wizard that walks you through the setup, so it will ask you for a bunch of permissions. Just give it the permissions, set it up, and then it will take care of everything in the background. So once it is done installing and you're done going through the settings, and it will essentially set itself up, and there's really not much that you'll have to do as far as the Car Launcher setup is concerned. So just walk through that, and then once you're done, it will take you to its to the whatever theme that comes with it normally. And once the Car Launcher is installed, you're gonna need a couple apps. So first of all, the weather app that I have here, this is used by another application. So it's a, let's see, it's this application. It's called One Weather. So I essentially tested a bunch of weather applications to see which ones have the nicest, essentially layout that looks really good. And that one was the one that I liked the most. So you want to download that application as well, and then go through its setup. It has a few settings when you open it, so you want to go through that first. And then next, if you want to, use this dual apps button that I made myself. You want to download Tasker. So Tasker is free. Let's see, where's Tasker? So right there, Tasker. You want to download that application. And Tasker, you as well want to open it, and it will go through a bunch of permissions that it needs in order to be able to run all of those in order to run apps and all kinds of things by itself. So you want to get that. And then obviously I'm using Waze and then Torque Pro with this custom buttons that I've made. So if you don't have those apps, these buttons won't work. So definitely you want to download Waze, and you want to download Torque Pro. That is obviously if you're going to use it. If you're not going to use it, well then you don't really have to. And you can edit the Tasker file if you don't want these, and it's pretty easy. So those are the apps that you need in order to set this up. Okay, so once you download the apps, I've attached the Car Launcher Pro layout and also Tasker. I've also exported the Tasker files, so that should have everything that you need for the dual apps button. And to have music playing by itself, and then the UI will have essentially this layout. That's how it is here. So you got to take both of those files, take the Tasker file and the Car Launcher Pro file, put it on a USB, and then plug it into the RSNav, and then you want to transfer the what's it called, the files onto RSNav, because those are essentially backup files for Car Launcher Pro and backup for Tasker. So they have specific locations where those apps store those files. So first you can transfer those files from the USB by going into settings of the RSNav, so the Android settings. You go down to, let's see, storage, and in storage you'll be able to go, let's see. So this is my USB right there. So you click on that, and so now I'm in, this is my USB drive, and I have a folder called backups, and that's where essentially where I backed up all of my UI and Tasker and everything in case I ever need to reset this up. So I go to backups, and then I've got, let's see, Car Launcher Pro. So here is the file that I saved and I backed up. So it's going to be the same on your USB. You're going to have this file. So you're going to go, let's hold this. Yeah, so you press and hold, and then go to the dots on the right, and you go to copy to or move to, either one. I'd rather just do a copy of it, so copy to, and then it will essentially, now you go to these three lines on the left, and you will navigate now to your to the memory of your RSNav. So the top one is RSNav, so you go there, and then Car Launcher Pro has its own folder right here at the top. So go to Car Launcher, theme, there's a folder called theme 2, horizontal, and then right here is where you want to copy the file. So now we go to the, or actually no, right at the bottom, you just press copy, and it will copy that file into here. And that's it for that. Now if you don't have the Car Launcher folder, that means that you haven't backed up any themes yet. So you want to actually go back, and then you want to go to the settings. So whatever theme you've got, there's going to be a settings button somewhere. Just press it, and then go to edit theme, and then you want to go right here, save, and then go to save. Press the save button. That will save whatever theme you have, and that will cause it to actually create all those folders. So I don't actually need to do that right now. Okay, so once you've copied that theme over onto RSNav, then you're essentially ready to select the theme in Car Launcher. So again, whatever theme you have selected will have some kind of a settings button somewhere. So press it, go to edit, or sorry, not this one, not edit theme. You want to go to, oh yeah, it is edit theme. So you go to edit theme, and then at the top you're gonna go click on the save button. You're gonna want to go to recover, and then you just press recover. You don't want to do it from the Dropbox. So recover, and then it will have a list of all the files. I have I guess more than one in there, so but you should have just one. So just select that one, and it should load the theme. I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to mess up anything that's there I already got, but yeah. So once you do that, the theme should look like this. And I don't know if it's probably gonna be here. So you just this is the editor. So if you ever want to edit anything on here, you just select it, and then you can move them left, right, up, resize it. Each widget and button has its own settings, so you click on the settings or move it, or if you want to remove it, it's there. So yeah, everything is essentially done from here. So this is where you can click each element of the design, and you can move it or resize it or whatever you want to do. But once you're happy with it, then you just click OK at the top, and then it goes back, and that's it. Okay, so once you load this UI, with the weather, these essentially will not work right off the bat. So this one will most likely have the words recover across it. What that means is that it hasn't like made that connection with the app. So essentially, you'll have to play with it. I don't remember exactly how I got it to work, but I know that when you change the theme, it messes with the weather. So if you cannot get you can't recover the weather, essentially here's what you're gonna do. So go to settings, edit theme, and then from here you go to, what is it, I think it's widget car launcher, and then you want to go to, let's see, system widgets, and that will give you a selection at the bottom of all the widgets that you can essentially place on your screen. So then here is one weather, and I think I was using this, let's see, yeah, I think it was this one weather tabbed right here, this one. Essentially you're gonna select it, so I guess I can do that. Select it, hold it, place it on the screen, and it will, yeah. So once you place it on the screen, it will come up with some settings. You have to scroll through these settings. There's all kinds of themes here, and you're gonna have to play with all these. I essentially played with it until I got it just right. Okay, so once you select your settings, press your check mark. So right now, that one doesn't look that great. It has some a background selected. So I had to play with that and essentially select like transparent background, and then I changed all of the I think font was, I changed it all to white, and once I did that, it started to, you know, all match together. So so yeah, but I don't want this anymore, so I'm gonna press on it, delete, and there's that. So that's essentially the weather. Let's see, the player that's here, obviously I'm using a player, it's called the Pi music player, but you can essentially assign whatever you want. You can do Spotify, you can do, you know, literally whatever you want, and they should all work. So I just don't remember. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so it did work. Okay, yeah, so I just pressed and held it, and then it gives me all the list of all the available players. So I've got Spotify or VLC, either one would work. So that's how you assign it. And then let's see what else. The apps that are down here, they're gonna be empty for you. So all it is you just press the add button at the end, and you'll get a list. So if you do add, you'll get a list, and you get to pick which apps you want at the bottom. So you just pick it, and it will put it there. So that's that. And then finally, the dual apps, same thing. You need the tasker file that I created. So the same thing, you're gonna want to go back to the Android settings, storage, go to the USB, and then let's see, this is the root of the USB. So I've got backups, tasker. So here's the XML file that tasker creates. So you're gonna want to hold that, go to copy to, and then you want to navigate to RSNav memory. So you've got, here's the USB for me, and then here's the RSNav memory. So we're going to RSNav memory, and then let's see, where is tasker? Oh yeah, so tasker has its own folder right there. So you go to tasker, configs, user, and then right here is where you place your file. So I already have a backup right there. So you're just gonna press the copy button, and it will put that file right there. So then you're gonna go to Tasker. No, don't care about that. And then I'm gonna go, let's see, how did I do this? Yeah. Okay, so once you're in Tasker, you're gonna go to this, press on these three dots. You're gonna go to Data, and then Restore, and then User Local Backup. I don't want to continue because I think that will actually start the import, so I don't want to mess with anything that I've got going on. But you're essentially gonna get most of these tasks and profiles and scenes. So the little button that I have created, this is right here. This is the scene that I've created, and that's what displays as the little view with the three buttons. And then once you press a button, it executes one of these tasks. So all these tasks are in here. So yeah, they're all there. And then I have mine set up to start playing music, and then after like 3 minutes to put Waze and Torque on the screen. So if you don't want those, you just go in here and disable them. And then you always want to make sure to press the little check mark at the top. The check mark is like a save button, so you always want to do that. So once you import that, that will essentially have that dual apps on it. And I'm not sure if it will actually display this button there or not, but if it doesn't, it's very easy to add. So essentially, you'll go to yeah. So you want to edit the theme. So you go to Settings, Edit Theme, and then you're gonna go to what is it? Widget, Card Launcher, and then System Widgets, and then you'll get a list of all the apps that support widgets that have some kind of widget built in. So you're just gonna keep scrolling, and then let's see. Yeah, so there is one of these, I think. Let's see. Let's try Task. Okay, so I did the task. I dropped it right here, but let me see. That didn't really seem to do much. Maybe that's not the right one. Okay, so I was having issues with Tasker. I'm not sure why it wasn't working correctly, but yeah, if you want to place this, if you don't have this button here, you have to essentially place it manually. So go back to Settings, Edit Theme, and then you go to Widget, Car Launcher, System Widgets, and you'll get the list at the bottom. So it is this task icon. You press it, hold it, and then you drag it onto your screen. The only issue that I was having is that it, for some reason, wasn't coming up with the window that I needed. Typically, you'll place it here, and then it will give you a window. Tasker itself will open up and give you a list of all the scenes, tasks, and everything that you've got set up, and it should then let you pick the dual apps, but it for some reason isn't doing it. So that's how it's done, but I'm not sure right now why it's doing it on mine, or why it's not doing it on mine. It's possible that you might have to either go into the app and then exit out of it by pressing the back arrow, or just try restarting your unit and just see what happens. But that is what I tried before, and it worked. Let's try this now, see if it's gonna work. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I had to back out of the app. So once you place that icon, you're gonna have Tasker. Tasker is gonna open, and then it's gonna give you a list of everything that you've got set up. You're gonna select dual apps, and then it'll show this, and that's essentially it. And then you just back out of it. Okay, and then if you click on the little icon, you got to make it bigger. That's what you use, the arrows. And then there it is. So let's see, let me just place it here for a moment. You can see there it is, dual apps. So obviously I placed mine at the bottom, but you can, you know, really do it however you want. And then yeah, I mentioned the editor here, but this is where you edit everything. So you can essentially tap settings, delete, move, and then you've got what's underneath. Essentially all kinds of like what they look like. So this is a square with round corners and whatever, but you can play here, and the arrows on the sides allow you to move things and resize them. If you don't want something, you just delete it, and that's it. So that's really it to this UI. It'll probably take some time if you're looking to have it set up like I do. It'll probably take some time to essentially recover everything and set it up the way you want it, and you know, all the dual apps and the weather. But if you've got any questions, let me know. Okay, so I actually figured that if I'm going to be sharing this with you guys, then might as well share everything. So the one last thing that you will essentially need if you would like to, the one thing that I forgot to share is Torque Pro. So with Torque Pro, I have it set up where the gauges are perfectly set up on one side of the app. So this allows you to have it nicely in a split screen mode. So so the same thing with Torque Pro. You're gonna load a file that I shared with you. You want to copy it over from the USB onto the RSNav. But first of all, what you want to do is you want to set up Torque Pro itself. So in the settings, it's actually in the main. So this is the main, and it has settings. Go to settings, and let's see. So there's themes, and let's see, where is it? What is it that I'm trying to do here? Essentially, look through the settings, and you want to make sure that it starts in this. You want to make sure that it starts in this. Where is it? Is it real-time information? Yeah. It's you want to. There's a setting in there that you have to check off to make sure that and that it starts in this mode instead of this. By default, it will start in this, and you would have to press the button to go into it. I think they call it a dashboard, so you want to make sure that it starts in the dashboard first. Otherwise, it's gonna do this, and you would have to press the button every time. So that's one thing. Second, even if I share the gauges with you, they won't exactly look like this because I have a theme selected. So if you go, once you're in the dashboard or the real-time information, there is a settings button. Let's see, I'm not sure if it's in this one. Nope, I lied. So you want to go back to the main screen and then go to settings. Settings, and then let's see, I think it's themes. Choose a theme. Yeah, there we go. So you want to choose the theme of your gauges, and there is a theme called something like Volkswagen. Yeah, there we go. Volkswagen MK7 Sport. So that's the theme you want to choose if you want the gauges to look exactly like mine. If you don't change that, then it's just going to be the stock gauges and they look different. Obviously you don't have to do that, but I found these look the best on this setup. So there's that. So once you have the settings made, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so you want to go to, alright, I'm going to restart my unit. Alright, so I was having some issues with the swipe from top menu, so I had to restart my RSNav, and now it's good. So anyways, so now we want to copy the file that I talked about earlier for Torque Pro. So we're doing the same thing as before. We're going to the Android settings, storage, go to your USB, and I have a folder called Backup, Torque Pro, and then I've got my gauges right here. So you're gonna select the file that you want. So let me focus here. So you're gonna press and hold. There you go. You're gonna go to the three dots as before, copy to, and then you're gonna navigate to, this one was the one that was a little bit more complicated. Torque Pro hides it somewhere. So once I'm in the menu, I think I went to Android, data, and then let's see. I know it's hidden somewhere, a little deeper than normally. I'm pretty sure it's in an Android data. What are we looking at? Media, vending, auto launcher, display, Android maps. Yeah, there we go. It's this orgprowl.torque. That's what you want to open. And then there's going to be a folder called Files. You go to Files, Dashboards, and then right here is where you're going to copy the gauges file. So you're going to go press copy, and that will copy the file in here. Okay, so once you've got your file on there, you'll go back to Torque Pro, open it, and then once you're in the dashboard or the real-time information screen, and you want to make sure it's this one with the gauges, you're going to go to the settings, press on that, and then go to layout settings, and then import layout. And you'll get a list of all the files that you've got backed up, which should be just the only file you should see is the one you just copied over. So you're gonna press on that, select it, and I'm pretty sure that's just gonna load it. So then you should see all of this, and after that you should literally have everything that I have. So enjoy.